Boxing King Media in association with boxer Eddie Hearn, red carpet event. Another one, I think the last one was the Benn Eubank one. So let's talk about it. AJ, you went to swimming camp a few weeks ago. I heard you talking earlier. You saw that he was a lot bigger in size. What else did you see different?
He looks big, you know. I mean, I think that he's doing less weights now, but probably focusing more now on boxing. And obviously Derek James is in charge. Derek James is running that camp, and that was the difference that I saw in that camp. You know, I don't think that AJ has really wanted to have that control over camp. I just feel like he became so big that he was like, people were sort of bowing down to him at EIS and stuff like that. This camp was really raw. It was really humble. It was just like, this is what you do. Small team in the house, and I think he's had a great camp.
How different will it be from going from like 3 trainers, then he went down to 2, and now he's back down to 1? Do you think that would make much of a difference?
I think it's how it should be. You know, you got Derek James, you got Trainer of the Year. Really, why shouldn't he be the one that calls the shots? Why shouldn't it be just one trainer? You know, and ultimately, it is. You want one voice, and it's a knowledgeable voice. It's an outstanding trainer, and I really, I just said to the guys, I just went to see Jermaine Franklin. He's got a 6-pack. I mean, like the transformation, you won't believe it when you see the photos. And this is what happens when you fight Anthony Joshua. You raise your game, all of a sudden you've got this situation where you start believing in yourself, and you'll hear from him shortly, he believes he's going to win this fight. And it's going to be a dangerous fight. If AJ gives him too much respect, if AJ lets him get in the fight, it's going to be a very difficult fight.
One of the biggest things in this fight is, will AJ get the credit for beating Franklin? The people that know boxing know Jermaine is a really hard fight, but there's a lot of naysayers as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think you should really worry about credit at this stage. I think he's made it clear that this part of his career is about himself. I don't think he has anything to prove for anybody. If he's trying to keep people happy, if he's trying to get respect for people, is that actually going to happen? If he goes in there and destroys Jermaine Franklin, people will say he's levels above Jermaine Franklin. If he wins and struggles against Jermaine Franklin, it was a bad performance and he's not quite the fighter he was. If he loses to Jermaine Franklin, then all of a sudden he was overrated in the first place. Like, opinions are opinions, but I just want to see him win. I want to see him get what he deserves out of the work and the sacrifices that he's made.
And obviously AJ won't talk about his next move, but obviously as a promoter you're going to be looking ahead as well. So I know you've said previously that you're thinking of like some sort of semi-final situation where Usyk fights Wilder and AJ fights Fury next. How realistic is that? Seeing as we saw how difficult the negotiations were between Fury and Usyk, how realistic is that?
You know what? Timing's everything, and I just feel like I'm not going to start talking about the fight or the split or whatever, but ultimately, like I said, timing is everything, and I think there's an opportunity for that fight to get made. I don't think there's another fight out there for Fury that pays anywhere near the amount of money that an AJ fight does. So Fury's all about the money, we know that, and at the same time, who else can he fight? Yes, he can fight Joe Joyce, yes, he can do these other fights, but at the same time, that's the fight. But everything hinges on Saturday night. Like, he needs to win this fight. If he can do it in dominating fashion, then I think we can stand in the ring at the end of the night and say, Tyson Fury, let's go.
And then you obviously work with the Saudis quite closely. Do you believe there's any truth in the fact that Usyk may be speaking to Wilder's team and trying to stage that fight in Saudi for maybe a lot more money?
Maybe. I mean, the big problem that Usyk has now is the same problem that AJ had. It's the mandatory situation, right? He's got Daniel Dubois, he's got Filip Hrgović, he's got Joe Joyce. There is 3 mandatories, and he's probably going to have to fight all of them back to back. It's the same problem that AJ had. A lot of people said he shouldn't have boxed Alexander Usyk. He boxed him because that's his job. He's mandated to fight him. I just feel like we're in a situation where Usyk will have to fight Dubois or Hrgović, whoever's ready. I don't know where Wilder fits into that. I want to see Wilder fight Ruiz because that's the other mandatory, and that's the mandatory for Tyson Fury.
And a couple of other subjects, Eddie, before I let you go. Benn, it was reported in the Sun newspaper today that the announcement is imminent. Any truth of that? Is there negotiations going on behind the scenes?
No, I don't think the announcement's imminent for Benn Eubank. We are talking. It's the fight I would like to make. course, you've seen Manny Pacquiao wants that fight. I'm seeing Kell Brook tomorrow just for a catch-up in the office. He clearly wants to fight again. He'd like to fight Conor Benn. For me, the fight I want to make is Chris Eubank. I think still, I know there's a lot more bad blood in that fight now, and we'll have to see.
Will Conor Benn attend this event on Saturday? I know he's been out of the public limelight for a while.
Yeah, possibly. I think it would be a good show for him to come to.
Spoke to Dominic Ingle earlier today. He feels a past it Kell Brook still beats Conor Benn. What do you think?
I think it's a great fight. Honestly, speaking to Kell today, he definitely feels like he has a lot left in the tank, and I think it's a tremendous fight. They've had great spars together. You've got to look at there's upsides and downsides of where both of them are in their career right now. Kell is at the end of his career, but still is a quality elite fighter. Conor Benn is coming off the back of all this stuff. You don't know mentally how he's going to come back, but it'll be spicy. But I think that's a fight for the UK, and I don't think Kell Brook will be ready till September, October anyway. So I think it's unlikely that fight will take place in June.
That's pretty much what Dom said. He's saying after June. Where will your loyalties lie? Because you started matching with Kell Brook. He was one of your first signings. You're in a difficult position.
Yeah, no, look, I like, I've spent a lot of time with Kell, shared some great memories. I think he's a great bloke, knows had his problems. Love his dad, love his mum, and I just want him to be happy. And if that's fighting again, I feel that he's actually still got stuff in the tank. I do. I wouldn't want him to fight if I felt that he was a shot fighter. He's not a shot fighter. But I still don't. My question to him today was more like, are you going to have a run here, or are you just looking for a massive payday? What do you want to do? Is it one fight? Is it 2 or 3 fights? How do you feel? And I would like him to actually go on that run, rather than just say, whatever's the big payday, just give me that. I just want to hear his flavour for it.
Interesting stuff. Last question, Eddie. Lawrence Okolie, obviously you saw the negativity over the weekend. Despite all the negativity, do you think anybody at cruiserweight beats Lawrence Okolie from the current crop?
I've always said, I've had questions tonight. What's your comments on Lawrence Okolie's fight? I'm not going to put the knife in. You've seen the comments. I didn't see anything different. He's boxed like that all the time. He's very effective at what he does. He's very difficult to beat. But he's just not that great to watch. And what you saw on Saturday, it wasn't a bad performance from Lawrence Okolie, it was just Lawrence Okolie. He won every round against the mandatory. But that's been the problem over the years, and I've had to come out and defend him every performance. But I've always said, and I'll say it again, I think he might be, I don't know if there's a cruiserweight out there that can beat him. Because he's a horrible style. He's strong on the inside, he can punch. You've got to have fast feet, you've got to move into range, and you've got to be able to punch, and you've got to let your hands go. David Light had a decent chin, but couldn't punch and didn't really do a lot else. But Lawrence is very good at what he does and very difficult to beat.
100%. Eddie Hearn, thank you, and good luck for Fight Week.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.